So guys, look at this. That is the size of the exhaust coming out, and there's not much. It doesn't breathe much. Hey guys, okay, so here we are with the Garelli Super Sport. We went ahead and changed the rubber inside the transmission. Clutch disc, it uses a couple of big rubber pieces, and those in there swell up over time, and they were swollen. The tank is off of it right now because it's right here. I went ahead and painted it, put new stripes, put new decal on it. We've got the inside of it being lined right now, so we just have to let that cure. Then I got to put some clear coat on top of it, but it's going to look really good once I put it back over here. But for right now, we have this thing running. Let me see if I can give it a, let me set you up here, and we'll kick it over pretty quickly. And the way to start these things, if you guys aren't familiar, this little lever right here is what engages, and then you just pedal, or you can just kick it or pedal. There we go. And then it's running. Right, I've got the idle turned down a bit, so we're gonna adjust it up. And let me put, that's it, pretty simple. I need to rewire the switch, obviously the on-off switch right here that's busted. I need to rewire it. All I have to do now is, here's the wires part. You just have to ground it, and it goes out. So let me strap you guys on. Let's take this thing for a ride. So guys, you can see I have the auxiliary fuel tank here hooked, set up, because obviously the tank is off, being painted, and then it was lined, so that's curing. I got another couple of days before I put some clear on it. So all you gotta do, you can either start and pedal and pull the lever, and hopefully it'll start up. There we go. Or you could just kick it. Now, I may have to pull this air cleaner off. Activate turbo mode. We'll stick that right there. Whoa, turn the fuel on. Waving at my neighbors. They're trying to figure out what the crazy guy's doing. So these things are super fast. I've got to tune the carb. This is the first ride on it. Like I said, these things are super fast. On WOT right there, wide open throttle. The good thing about this auxiliary fuel tank is that we can see our fuel level right now. So we can see our fuel level right here as we go. Like I said, I'm wide open. You can just twist it and forget it. I'm not sure exactly what, these things came in 15, 20, and 25 mile per hour models in the 2-speed. And if I'm doing 25 miles, if I'm doing 15 miles an hour, I'm flying. Which is good because I don't want to exceed the speed limit in my neighborhood, which is 15 miles an hour. And it wouldn't take much to kind of get this thing to breathe a little bit better. Put another intake on it, open up the exhaust a little bit. A wider, bigger intake and a bigger exhaust. Open up the exhaust, it'll breathe a little bit better. Should work out. I could probably pop off the screen, a couple of screens on the, they have the airbox that goes on, and then they have screens that go on top of it, and inside on top of the carburetor. You could pull some of those off to let it breathe a little bit more. Could probably give it a bigger jet too. Just give it a little bit more fuel. I feel like I'm running a little lean, but it's okay. I've overmixed this with a little more oil than what it should be, which doesn't mean it's going to run richer. It just means it's got more lubrication in it. This is it. The best thing 1980 had to offer. It'll look really good once we put the tank on. I normally ride all the way down to the end of the road, but I don't know if I have enough battery life to get that far, because it's going to take a while. This is the third of these mopeds, these Garelli Super Sports that I've owned, and they're awesome. They work great. They work great. They run. They're quirky. And all three of mine were top tanks. They were all top tanks. They have the same thing. You can see with the way they did these things is all you would do between the top tank and the step throughs is they would change the tank and the seat. The rest of the moped was the same. So the crazy thing, the step through, the tank mounted right here on the front and then down on the bottom. Same way, same place. This one just mounts up top. Everything else was the same. They just put a different seat on, which is actually kind of funny. But it's really cool because they kept their manufacturing pretty simple and they could keep their costs down. Some of them, even like the Motorbicane, the Mobile Elite, it came with 3 different seat options, a single, a double, and a triple, where you just load people on that thing if you wanted. But those were all step throughs. I got this thing wide open. I'm trying to spin the throttle all the way around to see if it changes. It doesn't. As far as it goes. But for something that hasn't ran in who knows how long, it cleaned up pretty easy, started up pretty easy. The only thing I had to do to get this thing to run, really, was, let this guy come around if you want to come around, was fix the tail light. There was a tail lights out, and that's in the electrical circuit on this. Probably the same guy that yells at me for going too fast. He's going to pass me, and I know I'm doing 15 miles an hour. I doubt it, I'm not doing 15 miles an hour. But the circuit, the ignition circuit, the tail light is in it, and it's an integral part. If it's blown, then it won't work. So once I figured that out, once I remembered that, I was able to change the bulb. We're able to get this thing to have some spark. Obviously cleaning the points, things like that. Checking the timing, and then we're right on. Right? And it runs. And the thing runs really good. It's slow as all get out. But that could just be the way it's geared. So I'm not that concerned about it. I'm almost finished with doing with it what I wanted to do with it. Obviously, you find it inexpensive, interesting to me, kind of offering on Facebook Marketplace. You get it, challenged with the puzzle of can I solve this thing and make it run, and then you go from there. You know, that's kind of what we were able to do. Now it's a running. I don't know how useful it is at this speed, because it's almost to the point. It's so slow, it's unsafe. You know, so we'll have to do something about it. We'll have to try to get it to where we can actually. The good thing is you never have to let off the throttle. You don't have to slow down, don't have to use the brakes. It's it. And thankfully in Louisiana we don't have any hills, so you don't have to worry about it slowing down. But yeah, it's to the point to where it's unsafe. But we'll see what we can do, see if we can make it run a little bit better. Right now we're going to focus on see if we can make it look a little bit better by finishing up the tank and mounting that sucker on. I got dual brakes. See, it is revving up a little, it is idling up a little too high, so I'll check on that. It sounds like I should be cruising, but I'm not. An exhaust may help. I cleaned out this exhaust and got carbon out of it, but the hole, I'll show you, the hole on the back end of it is tiny. Let me hit my custom. It wants to keep running. I'll show you the size of this exhaust. Let me shut my fuel off. Although this is the first moped I've ever owned that it does not leak. the fuel. It doesn't weep out of the carburetor, which is awesome. So guys, look at this. That is the size of the exhaust coming out, and there's not much. It doesn't breathe much. That is awful. There's nothing to that. That is literally the size of like a big ballpoint pen. It's not, there's not much in there, you know, and that's what it breathes through. So that could be part of our challenge right there. Could be. But other than that, this moped. So we may do something fun. I brought back some fabric from Barber that we may do, but it's not. Once we put the tank on, it's going to match close enough, good enough. And we're going to clean it up really good just to make it look a little bit better, but it's fun. So guys, there you have it. We now have a running and riding Garelli Super Sport, because we all need one of those. So guys, as always, thanks again for watching. Do us a favor, like, tag, share, and follow us on Instagram at Motorcycle Rewind, and go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. Thanks again, guys, and have a great day.